let's say Battlefield Battle Royale. Let's say the next, as the leaks say, is a Battlefield Battle Royale. What kind of Battle Royale would you love to see in Battlefield? Like, what kind of Battle Royale that should be, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, to answer that question, we have to go back to what we were talking about the last time we got together and talked, which if you're into Patreon, I'll give you a little bit of a clue. It's more along the lines of like staying in your lane and what you're known for. Since we've brought that topic up and we heavily discussed that now raises the question is, should Battlefield even have a Battle Royale mode? And I mean, there are easy arguments for both ways, for it or against it, no matter how you slice it. It's not really... It can be, in a way, if you think about it. Things like vehicles and stuff like that, they would have to be specific spawns in the map and then such and so forth. But how different is that from a regular match in some sorts if you have spawn points that are tied to vehicle spawns?
Well,
so it's not really completely changing the game.
That's assuming, okay, do you want vehicles in... Okay, when we talk about vehicles, we're talking transport vehicles or tanks?
No, the whole kit and caboodle.
All right.
The whole kit and caboodle. If Battlefield is going to have a Battle Royale, it would need to be done right. There's an airfield on the map. If you want a fucking jet, that's where you go get it. At a certain point in the match, if you get encased, and no matter how you think about it, when the circle closes in around everybody, you're not going to be able to fly anything. You'll be able to maybe have a tank, but you couldn't have repairs, or you would only be able to repair up to a certain amount, so attrition would have to kick in. I mean, the way they did it in Battlefield 5 when they tried doing it, it wasn't bad, but
I didn't like the vehicles in Battlefield 5. Not because the way they felt. I don't think that it worked really well in the Battle Royale section.
And see, for me, that's what it was missing, and that's what I didn't like about it.
I agree, though.
There was no vehicles or anything else, and it kind of felt just like every other damn Battle Royale game that was out there.
I do agree.
If I wanted to play
any
and every other Battle Royale game, I'd play that.
Yeah, I do agree that Battlefield is kind of famous for this combined warfare, and you would imagine Battle Royale would need some sort of vehicles. But the problem is with that, they kind of become OP, and that's the problem. For example, back 3 years ago, I think, 3 years ago, Call of Duty Warzone, they had planes that they spawn on the airfield, and you can get into the plane and just fly around and shoot people and so on. It was kind of dog shit, actually. It was the vehicles themselves were really good, but it was like they became so fucking OP, and you could not do anything about it, and that's the problem. And I can imagine Battlefield being the same problem. Vehicles can be too annoying to deal with, especially if you're not equipped for that. Like it's not like you can change class in a Battle Royale.
Tell me what the difference that is other than a match with a chopper god and a scout bird.
Yeah, but at least you have the tools to deal with that. You have the stingers, you have... You could
still have the tools in Battle Royale, too. Don't act like we couldn't put anti-air guns or anything like that on the map and shit. You couldn't put pickup weapons for RPGs or stingers or iglas or... No, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's not an excuse.
I think the problem is, as long as it's easy to change...
If you don't provide the tools in the first place for the machine to be able to stop it, and this would also feed into my argument for if Battlefield would do Battle Royale, it can't be solos. It would have to be squads.
I did want to ask you, do you think the Battlefield Battle Royale should be more squad-based like Apex or more loose like Fortnite and...
Squad, because
Fortnite
Battlefield is squad-based at its core. It needs to retain that too. Again, sticking to identities and things that you're known for. Like, if you want to make a Battlefield Battle Royale, when I think of Battlefield Battle Royale, I think squad-based gameplay, because that's what Battlefield is known for. Then that way you can vary your kits and your loadouts. You can vary what you're carrying. You can have a support player that's throwing ammo down for an engineer who's got, it's no different than any other match of Battlefield that you've played in your life, kids. It's just Battle Royale, and it's you versus other squads.
I will be okay with solos, trios, and squads. Personally.
I mean, for those who are crazy enough, like solos, if you're going to do solos, then vehicles would have to be gone. Vehicles can't exist in solos.
Fully agree.
But for squads Squads, duos, triples, even duos, I would say, okay, solos and duos, that's infantry only, but triples and quads, like that, that's it, full bore. That would be what I would be after. That way you could organize with a squad.
Yeah, regarding the vehicles, I fully agree with you. It's just a bitch to balance it and all that kind of stuff. And you're right about the tools. But as long as those tools are easily changed, if you can change it to anti-vehicle easily, fine. As long as there's a counter. But if you just spawn in and you have no way to change your kit, your loadout, or whatever the case may be, that will be very broken and OP. I can tell you right now because we had experience with other games. I had exactly the same problem. Heck, even Battlefield 5, like if you had nothing against the vehicle, you're fucked. I mean, crime. They had limited, what's it called? Fuel in Battlefield 5 thingy, and that kind of balanced it out, but it was still annoying to deal with. Because, like, if someone is inside the tank, you can't kill them. You know, you have what, a pistol or an assault rifle, what are you gonna do against a tank, right? Even if the tank is just standing still, I can't shoot, whatever. You know, it kind of becomes a balancing nightmare.
Wait, you mean to tell me you can't kill a tank with a pistol like I saw in Saving Private Ryan, and like 5 seconds later those planes flew overhead?
I won't say it wasn't the planes that killed the fucking tank, not the pistol.
It was Tom Hanks's M1911,
Yeah,
and don't you fucking dare insult the man ever again by inferring an airstrike. That airstrike flew overhead to celebrate his kill.
Oh, okay, so it's a matter of perspective.
That is the most American scene in the world.
It is fucking America as fuck. But yeah, I think me and you both agree that vehicles kind of need to be in the Battlefield Battle Royale. That's assuming it's a Battle Royale. But damn, balancing that shit is gonna be a nightmare. I can just already see it.
I mean, here's the thing that you got to think about. It would be, but the problem is it's not really that you're balancing the vehicles per se for the game. You're more or less trying to counterbalance against people who actually know how to fucking use them.
Yeah.
Because a good pilot is going to raffle stomp. I don't give a shit for how many good tools you got. A good tank and a good crew, or even with a good tank with a good infantry on the ground, spotting targets and keeping repairs up and going, or in some context, is going to raffle stomp. It doesn't matter what tools you have at your disposal, unless you're very good with long-range shots. But even still, tank has smoke or any kind of countermeasure from a long range. I mean, that's it. That's your ball game. They can just fall back and get out of your sight and move along somewhere else. So my comment on that is not necessarily get good so much as it's, well, yeah, get good. Quit bitching. I mean, vehicles are supposed to be what they are. If you're bad with the vehicle, you're going to suck with the vehicle. If you're bad with infantry, you're going to suck with infantry.
I can just see moments where, like, someone is really good in a helicopter. Land vehicles will have no chance.
Yeah.
They will have no.
And if somebody is dominant in a jet or with an attack jet, nobody is doing anything.
Yeah.
Because you remember how we used to control maps with fucking JDAMs and attack jets the entire time. And fighter jets never even stood a damn chance either.
Yeah.
Unless somebody that good got in. I mean, we knew people who were just gods at certain specialties, and we took advantage of that the best we could and assembled these people and made a team of just crazy motherfuckers, and I miss those days. But like we seen it firsthand that, you know, when people are proficient with certain aspects of that game, they're gonna shine in it no matter what you do. Like, I am excruciatingly proficient with stealth combat and CQC in some cases. I'm highly aggressive. Like, Tom and I, if you put the two of us in a tank, or if he's in a tank and I'm on the ground in a scout kit or anything of that nature, congratulations, all I have to do is just run around and spot shit. You're fucked.
Yeah.
We have our pros and cons, and the thing is I think it's now gotten to the point, and over the years that I've looked at things, I've realized that it's not really, in not most cases, it's not really balancing something that's broken. It's just balancing against the people who know how to use it.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Or exploits. I mean, there's exploits too. I'm not gonna say that, but that's an example of something that we need to be fixed.
Yeah,
like if there's a gun that is piss poor accurate but does a slamming ass amount of damage from range, like a really shitty sniper rifle that just hits hard as fuck, and people can peg headshots with that, is that rifle really broken?
Yeah, the problem is like I looking at the games, even Fortnite, for example. For example, people going back to Fortnite OG, right? Because they released the old map and everything and so on. Back in the day, when Fortnite OG came out, well, Fortnite OG, when Fortnite came out, when Fortnite Battle Royale came out,
Now you're doing it.
Yeah. It was a brand new experience. No one really knew it. Everyone experienced the same thing at the same time, right? So there was no people that were like knew the cheese and they did not have the talent or was skill set, whatever to optimize their gameplay to maximum potential. And when Fortnite OG came out just now, like just almost a month ago, the first 3 days were the most sweatiest, most try-hard experience ever. And I don't mind that personally, but I can assure that 90% of the player base was so fucking annoyed that they just land and they almost die instantly because they're playing against players that have been playing the same fucking game for the last 5-7 years. And they just get slammed. Like, it's just people that just casual gamers, right? It's like, oh, I want to check out Fortnite again, but like they brought the old map. They got fucking slammed. Epic had to like do something. They kind of balanced the matchmaking a little bit and so on, but that doesn't really help because people been playing for so long. So I can imagine the same thing happening. Like us, Battlefield veterans, right? We go inside the tank, we go inside the jet, and we just slam everyone in the battle royale because we know how the game works. We know how what to do and so on.
We know how to do cast runs.
Right.
We know how to make a tank live forever. We know how to pull long-range shots with said tank. We know how to figure out where you're going and, shit like that. Yeah.
I can imagine how frustrating that can be for new players that just like, oh, I want to check out this game, and then they just get fucking slammed instantly by a fucking vehicle. I get that. That can be annoying.
But here's the thing, that would have to fall back into like matchmaking. That would need to be tightened up a little bit.
See, and then people gonna complain that the skill-based matchmaking is too tight.
Well, you don't make it that damn tight. The thing is you don't throw new people in with people who've been fucking playing for hundreds of thousands of hours. I mean, you clearly, obviously shouldn't be fucking doing that because if those two accounts ever come across each other, do you really have to get the odds on bets on who's gonna win that fight?
Well, technically,
unless the noob has got fucking luck.
I mean, in an ideal world. In our ideal reality, ranked mode would be the solution. But it's really usually not. I do wonder, like, if they ever, they're probably not, because if it's a battle royale, I don't think they will come up with a ranked mode from the get-go. There's no way.
That would be horrible.
I mean, he's like, we don't know what kind of mode, what kind of battle royale.
Okay, horrible is the wrong word. It would just be cruel.
We don't know what kind of battle royale they're actually making. Like, I have a feeling it will be a really good one, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried that they might actually go a bit too much in certain cases. Or because it's the same guy that made. Okay, so they have a group manager for Battlefield, Byron Beatty, and he's basically responsible for the whole franchise right now, and he was one of the main people that made Warzone 1, the original Warzone, or Call of Duty, and it was such a smashing success. Like, Call of Duty Warzone was such a good battle royale. It was amazing, and Activision is still trying to go back to that glory days, trying to replicate, like, not replicate, more like they did some changes over the last 5 years that people were not happy about. They made the game maybe a bit slow, or they removed loaders, or whatever the case may be. So they're slowly coming back with that, right? They're changing the game to be more like modern, but at the same time they're trying to bring the old mechanics or some stuff back. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I'm worried that they might go too far with the battle royale sometimes with certain mechanics, or they will go a bit too Call of Duty-ish, which I do not want. Warzone exists for a reason. If I want to play Warzone, which I play Warzone, I love Warzone for what it is. I like the gameplay loop. I love the gameplay mechanics, all that kind of stuff. I like the idea, like, loadout lines, you have to grab your weapons and then go fight and so on, try to win the game. That's fine. But it's a battle royale. At the end of the day, the main goal is to win. I just hope they're not gonna do the same. I hope it's not gonna be just Battlefield but plays like Warzone. That's my worry. I don't want Battlefield. I don't want Battlefield and Call of Duty Warzone to be almost the same. I do not want that. I want them to be different from each other, and like you said, know your strengths. You know what works for you. We know what works for the franchise. I do want vehicles in a battle royale. I just don't know how they would balance that. So that's
Again, like I said, dude, it's. I personally feel like it would be more along the lines of balancing what's out there in the world as far as tools at disposal. I mean, I'm not saying litter the field with anti-air and anti-shit so that, if you don't last but 30 seconds in an air vehicle. I mean, the thing I would say is maybe make the flight controls about as realistic as you could get it so that, you can't do crazy and absurd shit. But again, now you're talking about making two completely different flight mechanics between Battle Royale and Conquest and other modes. Should you now that raises the moral question of that? Should you have to do that for Battle Royale? And personally, I feel no. I don't think you should. I think you should just do the damn thing, move it from one to the other, and let it go.